Greetings, everybody, and welcome to the channel. You are tuned into the North Node Oracle, and in this time, let's pick a card reading. We're going to be looking at how you are being viewed right now. We have three choices. We have the Hierophant for group number 1, Justice for group number 2, and the Fool for group number 3. Now that you've had a little time to decide, I will see you in your group. If you chose group 1 in this How Are You Being Viewed Right Now reading, this is your group 1. How is group 1 being viewed right now? So group 1, what came out in the pre-poll is you are being viewed right now as some sort of teacher, someone that people look up to. People are seeing you as someone who has something very, very important to say. You are being viewed, group 1, as someone who has moved forward from a tower situation. People are viewing you as someone who is connected to your intuition, group 1. People are viewing you as someone who has, like I said, a lot to say, and you might have something to say, group 1, in regards to how to tame your dragon, basically how to integrate the self. You are being viewed, group 1, as someone who has been put in a situation as to where you had to look at life from a different perspective. You are being viewed as someone who can possibly have the knowledge to allow people to move forward away from their tower moments by looking at life from a different perspective. Group 1, you are being viewed as someone not to mess with. You're being viewed as someone who is fair. You are being viewed as someone who people may be afraid now to step to because they know that you have karmic justice on your side. How is group 1 being viewed? Group 1, you are being viewed as someone who can take control of yourself. You're being viewed as someone who, like I said, has integrated both sides of yourself together here. You are being viewed as someone who can teach people or talk to people, or people can look up to you because you have the knowledge on how to walk away from a tower moment or walk through a tower moment with a different perspective, okay? That is how you are being viewed. People are also viewing you as being a fair person and someone who has learned how to take control of themselves. Group number 1, you are being viewed as someone who wants to bring your cup of information to maybe the masses or a small group of people. I don't know if you are a writer or if you're working on something, but you are being viewed as someone who has something to give. You are being viewed as someone who has a message to give to people about walking through tower moments, moving forward through tower moments, and having a different perspective on life. And that's why people are viewing you as someone who has love to give. And to me, this looks like self-love in this cup. So that's how you are being viewed. Group 1, what else do we have? Group 1, you are being viewed as someone who is victorious. You are being viewed as someone, again, who has something to say. Someone who is probably going to be in the public eye. You are being viewed as someone who moved forward or who will be moving forward from a tower moment, and you will be victorious. Even if you don't see this in yourself, people are seeing you as this type of person, Group 1, that you will be victorious, that you know how to move through tower moments, that you know how to move forward within your integrated self, that you have a new perspective on life, that you know all about karmic justice, and or you are very fair, that you know how to tame your own dragon and you are in control of yourself. Also, not just being in control of yourself, Group 1, but something is telling me that maybe before you put everybody else before yourself, maybe you were a people pleaser before, and then you were like, F that, I'm done. And then you got put in purgatory. You got put in self-love purgatory to think about what it is you want and who you are. And then when you came out, you thought, okay, what's going to be fair? What about what's fair to me? And that's when you started walking forth in the Emperor, which is Aries, I want to say, in astrology. Aries is about the self. And that's why you have your own cup here. You're filling your own cup. And you want to tell people on how to be victorious, on how to fill their own cup, Group 1. This is how people are seeing you right now. Spirit, what else? How is pile 1 being viewed? Group 1. You have mixed all the queens together. You have mixed the Queen of Cups with your emotions, the Queen of Wands with your creativity and your fire, the Queen of Swords with telling people to back up with air. Okay? You've mixed them all. You are on your way to the Queen of Pentacles, because the Empress here is pretty much all the queens mixed together, and you are being viewed as the Empress. You are being viewed as loving yourself. And even if you don't feel that way now, that's how other people see you. Other people see your potential to be the Empress. What else do we have for Group 1? So in my readings, I don't really like to bring up love, but if it shows up in the cards, then it shows up. Group 1, people are viewing you as a possible partner because of all the work that you have done on yourself, because of all those people that you threw out of the tower here. People are seeing you as a good partner because of you having this cup of love here for yourself. So that makes you actually more attractive to people. Group 1, people are viewing you as victorious and an empress. And it doesn't matter if you are male or female, this is energy that we're talking about. How else is pile 1 being viewed? So you got the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles. You are being viewed as someone who has great potential and who has a gift to give. And I'm having a feeling that that gift is part of what you learned when you were in this Hanged Man position, Group 1. How is Group 1 How is group one being viewed? You're being viewed, group one, as someone who is not afraid to jump. And what I mean by jump is, after you came out of this hanged one's position and not really knowing and trying to look at things from a different perspective, you decided to make a leap and to take care of yourself. And again, if you are not in this energy yet, you are moving towards that, group one. What else do we have for group one about how they are being viewed right now? Group one, you are being viewed as someone who is learning how to tame your own demons, or tame your past, or tame those things that make you feel weak, or that make you walk in your shadow. You are coming to a point of acceptance and possible forgiveness, and you are learning how to, again, tame your dragon and be the emperor in your own life and the emperor of your own emotions, group one. So that is what I have for you, group one, in regards to how you are being viewed right now. If you would like to see more readings like this in your news feed or in your feed, reach out and touch that subscribe button. And I will see you in the next reading, group one. Greetings, group two. If you chose group two or pile two, this is your reading. This is how you are being viewed right now. I am the North Node Oracle, and let's go ahead and get started here. Group two, you are being viewed as someone who is a go-getter and someone who goes after what they want. But you are also being viewed as someone who goes after what they want very quickly, but then doesn't know if you've made the right decision. Group number two, you are being viewed as someone who takes a lot of time for themselves, and maybe that's why you go after something and then you can't really make a decision about if you want it or not. It's almost like you go into your hermit mode to try to come out with a clear decision. Group number two, you are being viewed as someone who fights with yourself. You go back and forth in regards to what you actually want to achieve. Group two, you are being viewed as someone who, even though your thought process may be a little confusing to others and your actions, you're being viewed as someone who still comes out on top. Someone who has the capacity to make very good decisions, very sound decisions, very, very good decisions about your future, group two. How is group two being seen, being viewed? Group two, people are viewing you as someone who has tamed the lion. You are being viewed as someone who used to be afraid to walk through the valley of the shadows, but you are now being viewed as someone who has conquered that, or who is walking with those fears. And that is probably why you may seem a little apprehensive to others. And maybe that could also be why you kind of fight with yourself, before or after making certain decisions. But you are being viewed as someone who has conquered something, or someone who is walking alongside with something that used to be a big fear of yours. How else is group 2 being viewed? Group 2, even though you seem apprehensive in the decision-making department, you're being viewed as someone who can be very victorious. Indecision. Again, group 2, you're being viewed as someone who takes into consideration all the different aspects of a situation before you make a decision. So viewer, I don't know if you have a decision that you need to make right now and you're kind of deliberating about it, but this is how you are being viewed. People know that you are the type of person who does not just make a decision quickly, okay? People also know that since you have walked through the valley and since you have conquered some fear of yours, that you take a while. You go and consult your spirit guides before you try to make decisions. And sometimes it's a fight. Sometimes it's a debate with yourself. And that's why, it's hard for you to make a decision. People also see you as someone who keeps things close to their chest. People also see you as someone who is actually very emotional. Okay. People are also viewing you as someone who is trying to leave behind the old way of life or the way that you used to act in certain ways. And that's why, again, you keep things close to your chest and you consult spirit. And there's sometimes a fight in your mind. You're being viewed as someone who either cuts straight to the cuts the chase and just goes after, in some ways, what you want, even though it may be confusing at first. Or you're also being seen or being viewed as someone who receives clarity from spirit. People could also view you and now have clarity about who you really are. It was probably hard for them to see at first because you were, feel like your life calling or something that you were supposed to do was calling for you. But you were like, I don't know if I really want to do it. I don't know if I should stand in my power like that. And then you went within and you fought with yourself. Spirit was like, I got you. This is who you can become. You decided to tame those fears. And even though they're not gone, you are walking with them. Just like when we have things happen to us, we will always have scars, but we can still be victorious. People see you as someone, like I said, who keeps things, close to your chest. And someone who is trying to be better than you were. And someone who now has clarity about who they really are and their power. People see you as someone who, again, thinks a lot and can sometimes hesitate to make decisions because you are in you hesitate to make decisions because you're in your own mental situation. It's like you keep deliberating, going back and forth about something because you don't want to make decisions based on whatever this is. You know what this is. People see you, again, as having clarity about your direction, or this can be you having clarity about your direction. Ooh. Wow. Again, cutting to the chase, being balanced, and having justice. How else is or are people viewing group number 2? People are seeing you as someone who, even though it may take you a while to make a decision, people are seeing you as someone with really, really good boundaries. And I think that's what this Hermit card is for. I see people, maybe this is what this is for. Maybe in the past, there were situations that were toxic and you felt bound to situations, but now you have learned boundaries. And this right here, this looks like this straight did some cord cutting. And that's why we're looking at these boundaries that you have created. Group 2, there's also a collective reading in my playlist about boundaries. If you want to go ahead and watch that, that'll be interesting for you. You are also being viewed as someone who is, while you're waiting to receive the rest of the information to make your decision, is that you can still nourish yourself. You can still nourish yourself and take care of yourself. You're being viewed as someone who does have inner conflict a lot. So this card is talking about the inner conflict that I spoke about in multiple times in this reading. We have the Two of Swords, that inner conflict. We have the Eight of Swords. We have inner conflict. So people see you as someone who has a lot of inner conflict, okay? But they do see you as someone who has either cut cords or had clarity on some situations. So now you can think a little more clearly about your future. How else is group 2 being viewed? Ooh, this is a good one. Group 2, you are being seen as someone who is putting the past to rest, finally. You're being seen as someone who was probably held in this confused energy because there was something that you kept going back to or something that you felt bound to. But what Spirit is saying is let it go. And people are seeing you. You're being seen as someone who either needs to let something go or someone who does let things go. Okay? And then let's get one more card. How is pile 2 being viewed? Like, what's the advice here? Group 2, you are being viewed as someone who is about to start a whole nother cycle because you're being viewed as someone who has gone through a lot and you could be resting right now. You could be working on letting things go. So that is pretty much all I have for you, pile 2. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you want to see more readings like this in your news feed, reach out and touch that subscribe button. Thank you so much. Greetings. If you chose group 3, this is your reading. I am the North Node Oracle, and the question at hand is, how are you being viewed right now? This is a general and timeless reading also. So let's go ahead and get into it. Group 3. On the pre-poll, what I'm seeing here is that you are being viewed as someone who just stepped out of a situation as to where you had to defend yourself. You had to defend yourself. I don't know if it was... I don't know what exactly happened, but it looked like you were just in a situation where you had to defend yourself, okay? So you're being viewed as someone who is not afraid to stand up for yourself. You are also being viewed as someone who, after this situation, you're being viewed as someone who likes to spend a lot of time on your own. You are also being viewed as someone who has a very, very, very close relationship with spirit, and maybe this could have happened because of this situation here. You are also being viewed as someone who, okay, so I just got this side message of, even though you had a situation with others that didn't work out well, or that was kind of like a bit of a competition, so you had to retreat, and you decided to go within and connect to spirit. People are so invested in like what you're going to do when you come out. You're being viewed as, even though you've gone through these things, people are viewing you as someone who will emerge soon, and they're so interested in what you have to say. They want to hear your side of the story. Okay? You are being viewed, group 3, as someone who is very patient, or someone who has had to be very patient because you have people playing in your face, okay? And you really couldn't do anything about it at the time. So you had to go within and retreat to figure out how to deal with this situation. So people are viewing you as very patient. You are being viewed as having a lot of gifts to give. And what I'm saying is, you are being viewed as needing to tell your side of the story of what happened here. Because something tells me that since you went within and you consulted your high priestess and you worked on your intuition so that you can come out as new, something tells me that you haven't really told your side of the story. Something tells me that while you are in this hermit mode, being the high priestess, something is telling me is that you're trying to figure out, how can I temper my emotions? Because whatever this was kind of maybe upset you, right? And when you come out, you want to give gifts. You don't want to go and start any more drama. You are being viewed, group 3, as someone who is a leader and someone who takes control of the situation. You are being viewed as someone who looks at things from different perspectives, or you're being viewed as, after the situation that after this situation, you've been in a hanged one mode. You kind of been just chilling and hanging back. People are viewing you as someone who they would like to work with. How are you being viewed? People are viewing you as someone who could be very successful also. How else is my group 3 being? People are viewing you as possibly feeling defeated, and that's why you went into this mode with the hermit and the high priestess. You're also being viewed as someone who, while in your introverted wintering, someone who is working on something new, so that when you emerge, you have a different emotional perspective. You see how she's looking at this cup with the fish? People could also be viewing you as someone that they would like to offer their cup to, and they're just waiting for you to emerge from this situation. You're being viewed as someone who is strong and who can tame their fears. You're also being viewed as somebody who actually is pretty stable. So no matter what was said, or no matter what is being said while you in the hermit mode consulting with your high priestess, which could be male or female because it's energy, people are seeing you as someone who is a very stable person, even though you had a few situations. You are also being viewed as someone who is mending their broken heart, and that's why you are in this hermit mode, in this high priestess mode. And now I'm nosy because I want to know what's going to happen when group number 3 steps out of this hermit mode, because this, where is it? Has me very curious. We have Page of Cups, we have the Page of Wands. How else is group 3 being viewed right now? You are being viewed as the Star. You're being viewed as someone who is okay, so this is, I just got this fast, like lightning insight. Even though you are or were in hermit mode, something that you were doing, group 3, while you were in that hermit mode and while you were tempering your emotions, okay, and while you were here, gave you a glow up. So people are viewing you as someone who has glowed up. People are viewing you as someone who has gained all of your stars because of these types of situations. People are viewing you as someone who is pretty much minding their business and taking care of themselves. What else do we have for pile 3? How else? How are people viewing group 3? You're being viewed as someone who, even though you have difficulties, you come back every single time. It's like they send you out, right? They sent you out and you came back leading the pack. But it looks like right now the pack is yourself. Okay, the pack is yourself because you could have had conflict with the group here. You could have had a conflict with a group of friends. You could have had conflict with, I don't know, family. But right now, you're just like, you know what? I'm good. I'm just going to be me. I'm going to be doing me right now. I'm going to be doing me right now. I'm just going to be out here nurturing myself, getting sun, gardening, grounding, taking care of myself. Because what the universe wants you to know is by doing that, you can claim your power, group 3. So that's how people are viewing you, okay? People are viewing you like this. And some people are aware of all these things that happened before. But when you claim your power, there's so many different things. We got the Page of Cups. There might be an offer. There might just be an offer for you to find your self-love. There's an offer of stability for yourself. That could be a new friend group, right? Another thing that came out to me was the number 5. If 5 has any significance to you, because starfish, we have the 5 points here. This is also the 5 of Swords. So the big thing, group 3, is I see that people are viewing you as someone who has been changed from the inside out. Well, that is all I have for you, group 3. If you would like to see more readings like this in your feed, don't hesitate to reach out and touch that subscribe button. I will talk to you in the next reading.